Okay, we're gonna talk about the Browser Magazine video. I'm Connor from Level 1. I made a bunch of podcasts a long time ago, and people told me they like them, and sometimes people are like, where's the podcast at? And I don't want to make podcasts anymore, but I do want to still talk about skiing. And I watched this movie, and I got really excited to share some thoughts about it. It's a video that it's gonna be fun to unpack with you all. So, without further ado, let's talk about Browser Magazine, which I hope you've heard of before. Free Skier Magazine editorially has zero going on. They make one issue a year, and it is a buyer's guide that is almost all advertising. And they sell every page of it.
Sorry.
Powder Magazine is actually kind of making the comeback. Print is pretty much dead in skiing, outside of skiing, anywhere, everywhere. Print is no longer a viable option to do without losing money, except when you can really find a niche and something that people care about and make that your thing. And that's what Owen is trying to do with Browser. A hyper-specific, once-a-year annual publication for free skiing that highlights the best and the most interesting stuff that's going on in the culture, which is sick. Now he's on issue 4. Mine is still in the mail. I'm excited to read it when it gets here. A year ago now, Gavin reached out to him, or he reached out to Gavin, or however they were talking about it, and I'm sure it was pretty more informal than that, and they said, hey, we should make a Browser Magazine video. And I'm sure Owen's been wanting to do that for a while, because that's what he makes. And you probably know Owen from his work with Magma, maybe the Steam Boys, way back in the day, the Mo Bastards, shooting Lupe Haggerty's X Games Real Ski. Owen's got a really big resume at this point. He's made a lot of videos, but I get the feeling this one is probably really special to him and really special to Gavin. Right off the top. There's some spots that caught my attention in good ways. There's spots that caught my attention in bad ways. This Reg Ledge clip, this Red Ledge clip, and there's a couple of them, and there's I think 2 or 3 clips from probably the same one session on the Red Ledge, do not belong in this video. They just don't. The rest of the video is, I think, really great. That makes it when you have one bad spot or one shot where you're on a classic, iconic ledge and you don't dig the stairs out, it sticks out in a bad way. Like, I'm not a stair police kind of guy. Most of the time I think if it looks good, it's fine. Who cares if there's still snow on it or not, as long as it's not completely buried. It's fine. And once in a while you gotta hit something that's completely buried just because the rail is so sick. It's impossible to dig out. But Red Ledge is just not one of those spots. So many crews have gone there over the years and you spend a whole day digging it out, and it's part of hitting the spot. It's rarely iced over in there because it all just gets wind blown in like up the hill, and it's just a lot of work. It's not like pickaxes and shovels type of thing. You just gotta dig it out, and these clips don't belong in that video. There are a lot of amazing spots in the video, but one that really caught my attention is the Heritage Plaza spinning sign in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, which, to my knowledge, has never been hit by skiers, has only been hit by snowboarders one time. And I'm so curious if they knew that snowboarders had hit it before them. Not because it would make it valid or not valid. It's valid either way. Whichever snowboarder hit it in that video, you can't tell because you never see their face. It's probably Bodie Merrill, because it's his movie. He hit it from the rider's left side. Reese, Rule, big ups, hit it from the rider's right side. Reese spun. Bodie smashed it. Crazy. Both crazy tricks. Crazy to even just hit the spinning sign, where if it goes wrong, you're just gonna like splat into a wall. Sick spot. And really stands out in a video that is full of tasteful spots that really don't call attention to themselves in a lot of ways. There's some really big rails here and there, but a lot of the spots are nuanced and tasteful and are excellent to watch because the trick selected is good for the spot and good for the skier doing it. That's what part of what makes this a beautiful video start to finish, is that everything fits together, including the spots and the skiers skiing on them. Even if sometimes they're not super impressive on the face of them or crazy attention grabber, death gap crazy spots. There's some of that here and there for sure. But there's also a lot of just like good, nuanced, tasteful spots. Like one that's stuck in my brain is Sam Zahner does this spot where there's a rail, and I think he spins out of it into switch tail butter 3 down the stairs, like firecrackering his tails down it. And it's so sick, and it really fits the way that Sam skis naturally. You see him ski in the park, he's doing tricks that look just like that. And I think that's beautiful when it all fits together. Big picture, the first time I watched this video, I was kind of confused by the pacing and the start of it. And it took me a little bit to feel settled into what I was watching, to feel like I understood the pacing and where it was going. Sometimes it's a good thing to not understand, to be a bit confused. That's not always the worst thing in the world. But like, maybe this is just the way my brain works. In the first like 6, 7, 8 minutes, I was trying to figure out like, how is this gonna go? Like, am I watching rider segments? Because you start at the start, you've got Jed's throwing down, he's kind of got opener, but it's really just like a minute. It's not a full part. And then it goes mishmash, it goes montage, it goes vibe section where you get a full weed smoking video part, super funny, but you're also like, kind of just like, what am I watching still? And then you get to Japan. And the Japanese segment was where the video really settled down for me. And that's because it's almost like an anchor in the middle from a pacing perspective that you spend a long time with. And that really helped me like almost orient myself. And then as I oriented myself, I started to understand what I was watching. And that's when I was really like, wow, this is sick. Because as far as I know, this is a first to have an American movie, a segment that is largely focused on Japanese people skiing in Japan. It's crazy. We've had all these movies for so long, including Level 1 movies, very guilty of this, to have American people go to Japan, take in their culture, be a tourist there, consume their food, and oftentimes do it in a respectful way for the most part. But still, be a bit of maybe a culture vulture, you could say, in Japan. Film their amazing zones and not showcase any Japanese riders. And if you do, it's just a cameo. It's this small little thing. Oh, this was our one Japanese friend, the person that we knew that got out with us, and we filmed a clip with them in their home area. So when I started digesting the segment, I was really excited and blown away by it because it's unique in that way, and the skiing is fucking sick. There's some really excellent skiing that defies the expectations of what you normally watch when you watch a Japan seg. Normally, you watch a Japan seg, great pow turns, you get a switch 5 off a pillow, maybe. You get some threes, some backies, usually pretty boring skiing in beautiful deep pow. You get your tree jibs, your tree wally, maybe you trick off the tree, and that's it. All of the Japan segments get so fucking repetitive, and for the most part, I'm so done watching this.
Yes! Oh my god!
Oh my god! Ah! And this was so different. It was different to see Japanese riders being showcased, but there was also some really big hits going on in this, which was so dope to see. Skiing that makes you go, wow! That was pretty crazy. That was really big. In Japan, it can be done. Who knew? Thoroughly enjoyed this. This is also a really great way to demonstrate what puts the video on a very short list of love letters to skiing that create a snapshot of the entire ski community. There are 39 skiers in this video. That is crazy. That is a crazy amount of skiers. And a lot of the skiers have more than a cameo. There's a bunch of cameos too. I don't really care. What's cool is that you're watching the video and you feel like you're watching a portrait of the ski community that is bigger than just Owen and Gavin's clique, their little tight group. There is a very short list of videos that do this. A couple that come to mind are Zoot Space You get that feeling when you're watching Zoo Space of like, holy shit, that was B-Mac, and holy shit, that was Will Wesson, holy shit, that was Psycho P from Quiche, there in Finland. Wow. Dustbox Dream Castle feels like this, I would say, from a snowboard perspective. There are a ton of crazy people in that movie where you're like, holy shit, that was Jordan Morse. Let me name check that. I'm fact checking myself in real time. Yeah, it is Jordan Morse. Jordan Morse hasn't had clips in a video in forever, and here he is in this Dustbox video. That's crazy. That's how I felt watching the browser vid. And this is Gavin and Owen 10 years at this point into making ski videos, saying, we're gonna get out of these little bubbles in these little cliques that we've been running with and make a video that has as many people possible in it that we think are dope. And that is incredibly unique. It gives you this feeling of being special. That's the best way to describe it. When you're seeing something that has so many sick people in it that go beyond international borders, cliques, who people are friends with, languages that we speak, crews that we run in, it makes the video feel special. It makes the video feel like a unique document of its time. And there's been no video that's done this since Zoot Space. Zoot Space was almost 5 years ago at this point. So it's amazing to have something come along this much later and give you that feeling of like, we're putting a flag in the ground, a marker in time. This is what skiing was like in 2025. This is what was important to the culture. This is who was sick. Obviously, there are people that are sick that are not in this video. But to get such a wide, broad portrait of the people who are dope is incredible. There is a colossal fuckload of clips filmed in this video. I talked to so many people who are like,
I want to film a 2-year video.
there are certainly appealing things that you can see about why you would want to film a 2-year project. But frankly, most people don't need it, haven't earned it, don't deserve it. Ever since Eat the Guts come out, everybody wants to film for 2 years. Then Zoot Space comes out, then Labor make a 2-year video. Like, I hear about then Capiche is making a 2-year video. Then maybe a Thousand Skis movie that might happen, and they're gonna make a 2-year video. And I'm like, fucking stop it. Just make a ski movie. Like, in a winter. It's entirely possible to make an amazing video within 1 year. And these guys did it. They filmed a 34-minute video that is almost non-stop skiing, that is, for the most part, really great skiing on excellent spots, that is enjoying to watch start to finish. Maybe gets a little repetitive in the middle in spots, like the energy maybe sags a little bit, like before the weed segment and before the Doobie Brothers segment, but it's top notch, and they filmed it in 1 year. You don't need 2 years to film your video, especially if you haven't been making ski movies for a long time. Make a movie. Just make a movie. This is my third thought. Being inclusive is hard. It's easy to be a cool guy. It's easy to be cliquey. And this is something I'm not always the best at. I think I have room for improvement for, is being kind to people who you don't have to be. To be a homie to people that maybe don't have as much clout as you or don't have as much respect as you. I think we could all do to be more kind in that way. And I'm not saying that Owen and Gavin, who made this video, and their close homies who were a part of it too, are perfect at every moment. I wouldn't pretend to think that. But it's impossible to make a video that features 39 people from all across the world in such different backgrounds and not make a concerted effort to get out of your comfort zone, to get out of your shell, to not be a cool guy, to put people in your video, to get a clip with people that you're not already a homie with, and make something that's not just your little group. And don't get me wrong, you can make an incredibly sick video that's just your little group, and some of the best ski movies of all time are that, and there's a reason for that too. It's because when you're just a little group, you can all get on the same page about what you want to make and who you want to be, and the kind of spots you're going to hit or the kind of skiing you're going to do, and that can be dope. There are obvious, like, super core lord examples of that, like Eat the Guts. I think videos like OG videos like Refresh from Level 1, Claim from Matchstick, even going all the way back to like Session 1242. Oh, and also the Stepped crew, very famously and importantly. Are examples of that, of being like, this is our little crew and we're doing something amazing over here in this little bubble and the world needs to see what's in this little bubble. So I don't want to like say that that's not important too. But I think it's in its own way harder and sometimes more important to get out of that bubble and make something with people outside of your comfort zone. And when it works, as it did in this video, it can be incredible. It can be special. That's the best way to describe it. And I feel like you see that in this video. On a different tip, but still an important thought. 2, I think, legitimate candidates for Skier of the Year in this video. Jed Waters, Willie G. I thought both these guys had like 40 clips the first time I watched it. They just keep coming back and back and back and back. And every clip is really good, if not a complete all-out banger. First I thought Jed put it down the hardest. It's not a fucking comparison, and that's part of also the point. But then you get to the end and you're like, damn dude, Willie put down an incredible amount of big, scary, gnarly rails and put together a part with a ton of heart, soul, and feeling. And I really enjoyed both of their skiing throughout this video. And I haven't really said this, but the skiing entirely throughout is top notch. Like, it is tasteful, enjoyable to watch, just great skiing start to finish on spots that, for the most part, I have never seen before. I haven't seen in a long time and I couldn't place them. Our last thought, number 5 out of 5, soundtrack and pacing. Some people didn't like the soundtrack. If you didn't like the soundtrack, I think you're a fucking moron. Soundtrack kicks ass, is an awesome mix of Gavin and Owen's taste, which are, if you're gonna put them both in a box, Gavin has always had like a more underground SoundCloud taste. Owen has often had like a more, not pop music, but like a more popular song taste. Like stuff like the Kanye track in Magma 2, Supertramp in Magma 1, which I enjoy, and I think both of those have their own place. And to see both of them combine in this was amazing. There's a segment they call Wrecking Ball that I thought was just really starting to hit for me. I also thought it was so fun that they put in the caption of their video this list of the chapters with fun little names that show the intentionality behind it, like Siberian Wind or Wrecking Ball or Toph's Garden. I really enjoy those little touches and flourishes like that. And as it moved past Wrecking Ball, you get Wrecking Ball, Jed v. Sam, Gold Rush, and then Jed v. Sam was crazy. And then Silent Rock we get to, and the video just gets on a rocket ship to outer space, in my opinion, over the last 3 segments. And that's Silent Rock, Homecoming on the Playa, Willie's Nightcap, you go Doobie Brothers, into Fleetwood Mac, into the Nights Like These, Willie G, Ender. And honestly, I felt like I was watching an Ender segment the whole time. Like, each song could have been an Ender as it kept going and going and going. And each one is emotional in their own way. And that's what's really important. It's not like they're the coolest songs in the world. You could say they are. Maybe they are. I don't really give a shit. Too many people get hung up on what's cool and not what creates emotion when it comes to your song selection. And I think that's particularly true of skiers and athletes who think about, when they are skiing, try to think about like, what's going to be cool? How do I want to represent myself? It's a totally human thing to think. Owen has an incredible grasp on how to use music with his editing to evoke emotion. And I don't mean that to shade Gavin, because I love Gavin's work too, but like, if you look back historically at what Owen's been doing in his videos at the end of it, the best of them and a lot of them achieve an emotional climax that is really unique in ski movies. I'm thinking about ending of Magma with Goodbye Stranger. I'm thinking about the credits track to Magma 2 with that like old soul feeling. Makes you feel nostalgic for these people you've never met. I'm thinking about the Rolling Stones track in the middle of Wasteland. I don't think Soulstar had that, but that's okay. I'm thinking about the Ender of Magma 3. And for the most part, it's all just been one song at a time. This video felt so special because I felt like I was in that for all 3 of these songs. During What a Fool Believes, I was like, damn, is this the Ender? Then we get to Fleetwood Mac and I'm like, oh, this is the Ender. And then we get to Willie G and I'm like, oh, Willie on some Ender shit right now. And this song is hitting. And I just felt emotionally connected to what was happening on screen, and I felt nostalgic for what happened last winter, even though I wasn't there for any of it and I had no part in it. And that's the power of what a great ski movie can do. I sat there with my fiancée, and we watched this movie together, and she doesn't give a shit about park skiing for the most part, and she watched it and she was like, wow, that was really good. And I was like, hell yeah, it fucking was. And I think that universality of this speaks to the power of this movie. So, that said, is this a masterpiece? I think so. I really do. I think this is a masterpiece. I think this is a great fucking movie. I think this is 2 people working at the top of their game, doing it at an exceptionally high level where you can just feel them putting their soul into it. And that's special. I don't think true of like every video they've ever made along the way. You do it for 10 years or more and you're bound to have some ups and downs. Some that land harder than others do. And I thought this movie landed incredibly hard. I think it's the best movie since Zoot Space. I think it's not really even close, to be honest. And that includes the movie that Level 1 made last year that I'd like to think is really great. It includes Daycare, which I also thought was really great, and some great child labor movies and some great solo, smaller projects from people I really like all over the world. And this shit just hit different. And you can say I'm biased, and I am biased. These guys are my friends, and I really like the work they make, and I've liked them for a long time. But before they were my friends, I respected them as artists, and I still respect them as artists now. And I thought this movie was a fucking slapper. If you disagree, I'd love to know why in a thoughtful, precise, clear, and concise way. If you made it this far, thanks for listening. Hope you like it. Rate, like, subscribe, thumbs up, or don't, whatever the fuck. Buy a Level 1 t-shirt, or don't. Drink a pub beer, or don't. Thanks for watching. I hope you watched the browser video. See you later on this winter for more of whatever this was.